One look at the rolling hills and valleys of the Niagara region and you know you are in wine country. If you are one of those people who thinks that sitting back, drinking wine and petting your dog makes for a good day, then this video is for you. Niagara-on-the-Lake is, like most things Canadian, a friendly and welcoming place to visit, and that includes inviting guests to bring their dogs with them to wine country. We are off for a wine country weekend and we are bringing our fluffy fur baby with us. Stay tuned to see the best dog-friendly wineries in Niagara-on-the-Lake. The global pandemic has been rough for everyone, our team included, but something great that came out of it was our deeper love for exploring local. Niagara-on-the-Lake is not too far from Toronto, maybe an hour and a half, and while the borders were closed, we decided to explore the Niagara region. It is just amazing, and we have grown to really appreciate how unique and special an area this is. We have also discovered that many of the wineries, restaurants, and patios are dog-friendly. I don't know about your dog, but ours loves to go out and explore with us rather than be left at home. She gets a bit sulky when we leave her behind. There is a lot to cover, so today we're going to focus on visiting the dog-friendly wineries in the Niagara-on-the-Lake region. There are also dog-friendly wineries in the 20 Valley area, which is about half an hour closer to the city, and a video of our visit to those ones will be coming up soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm going to show you a map and where all the wineries are that we visited. They are all very close to one another, as you'll be able to see. We visited each one of these wineries with our very large fluffy girl so that you can have a look with us at what these wineries are like and then decide which ones you want to put on your list to visit. Some were better than others, so stay tuned to the end and we will tell you which one was our favorite and why we chose it as our number one. Queenston Mile, Between the Lines, Marynissen Estates, Reif Estates, Carolyn Cellars, Nomad at Hinterbrook, Palatine Hills, Southbrook Organic, the Hare, DiSimone, Lakeview, Pillitteri, Joseph's Estate. You may have noticed that those last 6 wineries on our list are all on Niagara Stone Road, so you can easily visit these ones on your bicycle. Let's have a look at Queenston Mile Vineyard first. It's fairly rustic, so you may think you're in the wrong place, but just keep following the driveway until you see the large gray building. The Queenston Mile is fairly new to the region. They have simplified their lounge and tasting room, and they will tell you that they are aiming to be free of pomp and circumstance. Queenston Mile takes a minimal approach to their winemaking, so they don't mess too much with a good thing. They focus on Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and sparkling wines that do really well growing atop the St. David's Bench. Their outside patio and seating is clean and comfortable with lots of room to wander around or sit and enjoy a glass or a tasting. Next is Between the Lines Winery. Dogs are welcome at Between the Lines, just not in the production facility. Greg and Yannick Wirch are farmers turned vintners, and they focus on wine just like they focused on the fruit that they grow. Quality comes first, and if you have a peek in the shop and see all of the awards that they have won, they are probably onto something. They are also big dog lovers, and staff member Elaine was telling me that the winery hosts a huge dog-friendly event called Canines, Wines and Vines in the spring, where you bring your dog, you go on a tour through the vineyard, have lunch. They have sponsors that come in giving out swag bags to spoil your dog while you enjoy some wine. I'm planning on attending this next spring because it sounds like a fantastic morning out. We are showing you the entrance to the wineries so you don't drive past and miss them. We are also showing you a fair bit of detail on what the dog-friendly areas are like, because if you have a good look around, it's easier to make the decision about if it's a good spot to visit with your dog. You'll see as we get into the video that even though they are all dog-friendly, not all of the wineries we visited were suited to our size of dog. Now we are off to check out Marynissen. Marynissen Estates has its roots deeply entrenched in the soil of Niagara-on-the-Lake. The estate is home to the oldest commercial planting of Cabernet Sauvignon in Canada, so if you are purchasing wine here, that is the one to try. The property, which is an old pig barn, was purchased in 1953 by viticulture pioneers John and Adriana Marynissen. John and Adriana began growing their own grapes in 1976, planting the classic European varietals of Chardonnay, Gewürztraminer, Riesling, Merlot, and Gamay Noir. Not only is Marynissen dog friendly, but they allow dogs into their retail space, and they offer dog flights and water bowls. The patio seating is clean and comfortable, and our dog had plenty of space to stretch out during our tasting here. Reif Estates Winery is next on our list. Reif Estates allows dogs on the patio, but not in the retail store. Fridays and weekends in the summer, they have music and food out on the patio, so if your dog is sensitive to music, just keep that in mind. Reif is one of Niagara-on-the-Lake's founding family wineries. Founded in 1982 by Ewald Reif, and later acquired by nephew Klaus Reif, today Reif produces wines from its vineyard first planted in 1977. The farm is also home to some of the oldest vinifera plantings in Canada, a benefit to growers in cooler climates like Ontario, as the mature vines ripen earlier. Reif offers a lot of options in terms of tastings, food, and activities at the estate, so even if you visit multiple times, it can be a little different each time. Carolyn Cellars is next, and they allow dogs in all of their outdoor spaces. All of these wineries I called in advance about whether or not they're dog friendly. Carolyn Cellars told me that dogs are welcome in their outdoor spaces, but they also asked that people let them know if they are bringing a dog so they can save an appropriate table. When I got there, I realized why. Carolyn Cellars is really busy. We were there in the middle of the week. And their restaurant is as busy as the winery. In our experience, if you had a small purse puppy, you would be fine at Carolyn's. but we were not comfortable bringing our big dog here, so we did not stay. Carolyn's has a good reputation in the area, and we will visit again when we come back, but without our dog. Nomad at Hinterbrook has a long, winding driveway. Just keep driving, past the residence, and back to the winery. Dogs are welcome both inside and outside at this winery. The historic site that is the home of Hinterbrook Winery was first settled in 1789 by the Servos family. The Nickel family purchased the property in 1963 and operated an orchard growing stone fruit and Concord grapes. In 1998, the first vinifera grapes were planted to establish Hinterbrook Estate Winery. The current husband and wife owners added the Nomad at Hinterbrook. She is a winemaker and he is an artist. The labels are all designed by the owner, and some of the labels are blank and encourage you to tell your own story. They believe in personalizing your winery gifts, so you can draw congratulations or happy birthday or whatever you choose on some of their bottles if you're giving it away. Their ice wine and Vidal bottles have beautiful animals on their labels. It is really art both inside and outside of these bottles at Nomad at Hinterbrook. They also have a great outdoor patio area, and there is lots of room for your dog to join you for a tasting here. Now we're off to Palatine Hills. It is not your average winery, and that is apparent the minute that you pull into the parking lot. Over 4 decades ago, the Palatine Hills property in Niagara-on-the-Lake began to take shape under the care of the Neufeld family. As a prime location within the fruit belt, owners John and Barbara Neufeld saw immense potential in the land, imagining vinifera possibilities with the terrain. Palatine Hills was one of the multiple firsts for the region, including being at the forefront of local ice wine production. Palatine does everything just a little bit differently. They are a funky, hipster-style place to visit. Not only can you do tastings of their many wine offerings, they have ciders and spritzers and some fantastic sangria. There are lawn games to play, outdoor fire pits, and it has a unique indoor-outdoor retail space. Not only is your dog allowed in there, but they offer them treats, they have water bowls, and they take their picture for their Hall of Fame wall. My husband and I differ on which winery took second place on our winery tour. Palatine was my husband's second favorite choice for our dog-friendly rankings, and it was a very close second place. I'll tell you why our winner edged them out a bit later in the video. Southbrook allows dogs on the patio for wine tastings and for lunch, and they are also allowed to walk through the retail space while you're shopping. Southbrook encourages you to take a walk around the vineyard. It is 100% organic and they use no sprays, so this is an amazing place to visit, eat, taste, and go for a walk. Southbrook Vineyards is a result of Bill Redelmeyer's love of wine, the land, and all things local. The winery is situated on a 150-acre vineyard in the heart of the Niagara Peninsula wine region. They produce organic and biodynamic wines that earn recognition from critics and consumers alike. With their purchase of the Niagara-on-the-Lake vineyard in 2005, the Redelmeyers committed their energies to sustainable viticulture. By 2008, they had created the first wine estate in Canada to earn both organic and biodynamic certification for its vineyard and winery. Southbrook also takes a leadership role in the wine community by mentoring, educating, and sharing in an effort to encourage a growing understanding of organic and biodynamic methods. The design and construction of Southbrook's hospitality pavilion to LEED's Gold standards also embraced many more green initiatives, covering water management, energy conservation, sustainable materials and resources, and indoor air quality. Southbrook is absolutely worth a visit to for their education and sustainability alone. They do not just pay lip service to the term organic, and you can see in everything that they are doing, their stewardship of the environment is at the forefront, and when you get to taste their wine, it is present in every sip. Southbrook is a fantastic dog-friendly winery, especially for a dog as big as ours. It was spacious and comfortable, and they made us feel very welcome. Southbrook was my second favorite dog-friendly winery on our list. Next is the Hare Wine Company. You can't miss the location of this one. When you see the giant rabbit sculpture on the front lawn, you're there. At the Hare, dogs are allowed on the patio and they are also allowed in the retail space, which I think is helpful. If it's just you and your dog and you want to actually purchase a bottle or two, it's nice they're allowed in the store. John Hare's family has been in the wine industry in Europe as far back as the early 1900s. The family still owns and operates 80 acres of vineyards in Kotovo, Bulgaria, supplying quality grapes to the two local wineries in the village. John Hare continues his deep family tradition for the love of wine at the Hare Wine Company in Niagara. The DiSimone family has been producing wine for many generations. Their ancestors owned and operated a wine boutique and barrel cellar in the mountains of southern Calabria, Italy, supplying an entire village with wine. This is a pretty big deal in Italy. In 1967, the DiSimone family immigrated to Canada. In 1991, they purchased and worked the farm, opening a family-run fruit stand that's still there now. Notice the peaches for sale at the winery? In 2010, the son Vincenzo DiSimone and his father hand-planted their first vinifera grapevines, 3 rows of Cabernet Franc. After seeing the success of the new vines, they continued to plant the rest of the vineyard, and today there is over 17 acres planted of various varieties on the 40-acre estate, and they opened the winery in 2017. Their outdoor tasting patio is comfortable and dog-friendly. Our next Italian winemaker is Pillitteri. Since arriving in Canada from Italy in 1948, the Pillitteri family has been committed to their wine. Now, over 6 decades later, Pillitteri Estates Winery continues their family's tradition of viticulture and winemaking excellence. With 3 generations actively involved with the winery's operations, each product they make is a product of their family's passion for wine. At Pillitteri, dogs are welcomed on the patio, and the vineyard experience is also dog-friendly. Next up is Joseph's Estate Wines. Joseph's Estate Wines is a family-owned and family-run winery that opened in 1996. In 1983, Joseph's made the first ice wine for Hildebrand, and in the process became one of the early Canadian ice wine pioneers. In 2003, the winery expanded with an additional 10,000 square foot building to house their expanded winemaking operations, and together with associate winemaker Catherine Reed, Joseph's produces a full portfolio of premium VQA red and white varietal wines, Vidal ice wine, unique fruit wines, specialty wines, sherry, and port. Needless to say, there is a lot to try at Pillitteri. There are small table and chair areas outside, as well as picnic tables and Muskoka chairs for you to enjoy a tasting while your furry friend relaxes beside you. Last but not least for today is Lakeview Winery. Lakeview Wine Company is the retail and online division of Diamond Estates Wines and Spirits. They are Ontario's 3rd largest producer of VQA wines. They produce many of the most popular VQA wine brand families in Ontario, including 20Bs, Eastdell, Fresh, and Lakeview Cellars. My husband and I agree, and this does not happen very often, that Lakeview Winery is our winner for dog-friendly wineries in Niagara-on-the-Lake. There are a few reasons for why this one edged out Southbrook and Palatine Hills. Lakeview has very comfortable and spaced-out seating in the backyard area. There are a lot of comfortable areas to take your dog for a walk and let them stretch. They allowed our dog, and she is 100 pounds, to come inside the shop to do an indoor tasting with a water bowl and ample space for her. This was nice to know that even if it starts to rain or it's too warm, we have the option to enjoy a tasting indoors with her, provided it's not too busy, of course. And the proverbial icing on the cake for me is the Lakeview Wine Club. Currently, it's $65 per month with a 6-month minimum. They send you 2 bottles of wine every month, and along with other benefits, they include tastings for you and 5 guests at all 4 of their partner properties, and all 4 of these properties are dog friendly. Had I known this before visiting, my husband and my tastings would have been included with a membership, and I would have actually saved money. Instead, I paid for them all individually, and I bought several bottles of wine. Alas, I didn't know, but because you stuck with me through this video, now you do. I always tell you in my videos that it's advantageous to your budget to do a little math in advance of your bookings. I think this information might be worth clicking that subscribe button for me, because that would really help me out to make more of these informational videos. Thank you very much for watching our video. I know it was a long one, but I didn't think splitting it up into 2 parts was a good idea. People need information to plan a visit to wine country, and I'm hoping that this information will help you pick the wineries that are going to work best for you and your furry friend. Our rankings are purely subjective and simply based on our experiences and what we liked best. If you've taken your dog to wine country, comment below on which ones are your favorite and why. I would love to check them out if I missed them. There are several dog-friendly hotels in the area, so you can make it a long weekend adventure. I will list the ones that I know about in the description below. I haven't been able to visit them all yet. So sit back, sip wine, pet your dog, and enjoy a wine country weekend getaway. Cheers, and we will be back real soon with more travel content.